And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We're going to break down a lot of high school football tonight on the show as we go into the first round of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some amazing first round games with some potential second round games that could be even bigger. So we're going to break down some of the biggest contests coming up here in the first round of the playoffs. We're going to hear in just a moment from Rancho Christian head coach William Lowe, the Eagles with a dramatic win against Hemet, and they're going to see the Bulldogs again in the first round of the playoffs. Also in this show, little girls flag football. We'll talk some SBVC cross country. Listen, if you're not following men's cross country at San Bernardino Valley College, it is a true dynasty. They have won 27 conference championships in the last 29 years. That's how dominant the Wolverines have been in men's cross country. So we'll talk about that. Oh, and California Baptist University men's basketball, big win in their season opener against Incarnate Word. Myself and the Big Jeezy, Jeff Gorham, were on the call on ESPN+. It was a lot of fun. Little scary for a little bit as the Lancers went down by 17 to the visiting Cardinals, but they found a way to battle back and they won that one. So we're going to have some highlights from that game and also hear from one of the stars in that game, Kendall Coleman. So a big show, and it's all brought to you by our good friends at Ken Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, Sanitation Solutions, Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, and Paulson Orthodontics. Thank you guys so much for supporting local sports and supporting the Inland Sports Show. All right, we're going to lead things off with high school football in just a second. Stick around. Head coach William Lowe from Rancho Christian football.
Inland Sports.
But first, the big boost play of the week. It was Lola Carson booting a 30-yard field goal to win the game against Hemet. 31-28, and that was the Sunbelt League championship. That field goal came within the final minute. I think about 30 seconds left from 30 yards out. And you're going to hear from Coach Lowe in a second. I think that was only her third field goal of the season, but she's a soccer star. They had the utmost confidence in Lola, and she knocked it through. That is our big boost play of the week. It was also Hemet's first loss of the year, and also gave, as we mentioned, Rancho Christian the Sunbelt League title. Well, we get to do it all over again. It's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game as Rancho Christian and Hemet will go head-to-head in the first round of the Division 8 playoffs. The winner of this one could possibly meet Norta Vista in the D8 playoffs. So a lot on the line in this one. It's always tough to beat the same school twice in one season, but we get Rancho Christian versus Hemet in back-to-back weeks. Both games at Hemet High School, and now it is win or go home in the first round of the playoffs. It's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Here's Eagles head coach William Lowe.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, the head coach of your Rancho Christian Eagles and Sunbelt League champions, William Lowe. And Coach Lowe, man, congrats on the league championship going up against a Hemet team that was undefeated at the time. You guys win it in dramatic fashion. What are some of the memories that you're going to recall about that game when you look back at that one?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, Pep. Really, it was a tale of two halves. First half, we're down 28-7. We had some unfortunate turnovers. Some bounces didn't go our way. And to Hemet's credit, they made plays. They came out and made some plays early. Jumped on us, so we went in the locker room at halftime, kind of regrouped a little bit, took a deep breath, told our kids just go out second half, play one play at a time, don't look at the scoreboard, and we knew we couldn't make it all up in one play, so we told them to keep playing. And high school is such a game of momentum, and when you get momentum on your side, good things tend to happen, and a lot of good things happened for us there in the second half.
Yeah, any way you slice it, I mean, the comeback, the game-winning field goal, it was all dramatic. How good did it feel at the end of that game to win that Sunbelt League title?
Really, I was just extremely happy for our kids. They put in a lot of work, especially the seniors. This is only my third year at the school, but some of those seniors were freshmen that went 2-8, and just to see them be able to have that success and develop a winning culture and winning program at the school, I was really extremely happy and proud of our kids.
All right, Coach, so let's talk a little playoffs as well. I've covered high school football for a long, long time, and I firmly believe the CIF Southern Section has a sense of humor a little bit. And I see some of these first round, even potential second round matchups are very intriguing. A lot of good storylines. And when I saw your bracket come out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think, Division 8, oh my gosh, they've got Rancho Christian and Hemet, same place at Hemet High School, playing each other for the second straight week. It's happened before, not all the time, but, what did you think when you saw the brackets come out?
Well, funny story. We were talking about on the bus ride home because we knew going into the game we were one of the top seeds in Division 9 on Cal Prep's projection, and him was in the middle of 7. And on the bus ride home, we're like, "Hey guys, don't be surprised if we're back here next week because us winning, I knew it would bump us up. I knew they would bump down. So we really kind of had that in our mind Friday that it could happen."
So do you think it's, I don't want to say easier, but are there more challenges having to see the same team? Usually when you see the same team twice in one season, it's weeks apart, not back to back, Friday nights.
Right. Yeah, this will actually be our 4th time playing Hemet in 2 years. Last year we played him in league and we played him first round of the playoffs, and then this year last week and then next Friday. So I think you get some familiarity with the teams, and it really comes down to adjustments. Who can make some adjustments, and you got 7 days to do it.
Coach, I'm not trying to, have you be the CIF official and break down how to do all this stuff, but there were several scenarios where you look at a league and the league champion has to play on the road, but a second or third place team in the same division has to go on the road. You know what I mean? Like the champion goes on the road, the second or third place team has to, get a home game in that first round. So were you surprised that, I don't know the rankings, I'm not trying to have you break down the algorithm or the equation that they use, but were you kind of surprised like, oh my gosh, we won the league title, but we have to go back to them?
Honestly, no. We know that's how it falls sometimes, and we're just happy to be playing in the playoffs, so we don't really put a lot of stock in that we don't mind home and away. I actually prefer playing away sometimes, just to get away from the distractions at home and stuff. So, no, that didn't bother us at all. I understand, CIF, I've only been out in California 3 years, so I understand kind of, how the Cal Preps ranking works and how they do the playoff system. So we weren't bothered by it. And with the competitive equity that they do now for the playoffs, you got to play everybody anyways, and everybody's going to be evenly matched, and it's going to be close games. So, it's just kind of where the chips fell. So yeah, we were fine with it.
Yeah, at least in my opinion, I think if you win a league championship, you should at least get one home game to start the playoffs at the very least. And I'll get off my soapbox. That's my opinion. I know the playoff, the formatting, it's not perfect. They do a lot of good things, but I know it's not perfect. But anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. Coach, let me ask you about the quarterback receiver duo, Emiliano Villarreal, your QB, and Cameron Jones. We saw them several times on Riverside TV. We had highlights on the Friday Night Pep Rally. That QB receiver duo, I think they stack up with anybody in the IE that we've seen on the show for highlights. What do they mean to the program to have guys like that offensively that any play could be a home run?
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely added to our arsenal of players. We started out the first 5 weeks of the year and we had the leading rusher in California, and Will Ford. So, we did get some guys eligible, Cam and Emiliano, and it helped a ton. It kind of gave us a different look going into league. Our 5 non-league games, we were very run heavy. We were a run heavy team. And so it did change up a lot of things, but I also feel that we're still growing as a team. Those guys as a whole have only been with our team half the year. So we're still growing each week and trying to get better and trying to use them in the right way and use the rest of our guys and the weapons that we have. So it's definitely been a bonus. Good players make good coaches. So, anybody will tell you that. So it's definitely been very helpful to our team. And more than anything, they're great kids, extremely good kids and hard workers and tough players.
Well, Coach, that's a perfect segue into my next question, because I was going to ask you about, the type of football that you guys are playing this time of the year. Do you feel like, it's kind of a sports cliche, but that you're peaking at the right time? Like you guys are still trending up and getting better as you go into the playoffs. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've been pretty free from injury, which is huge in high school football. Especially a school our size, we don't have a lot of players. We only have about 250 kids in the high school. We only travel about 40 kids. So keeping everybody healthy has been a huge plus or bonus for us. We played a very good Hillcrest team who had some injuries. You just never know in high school football who's going to be healthy at the end of the year, and teams that are healthy usually have a leg up. So we've been really blessed to stay healthy.
And Coach, I wanted to ask you about the Sunbelt League. We like to call it the Funbelt League on the Friday Night Pep Rally show because, there were so many great teams. At least going into league, we felt like it was going to be wide open, that every team felt like they had a chance to maybe win it or at least finish, in a playoff position. Talk about just the competitiveness of the league, because every single game seemed to be a battle.
Yeah, and honestly, it is top to bottom. It's the most competitive league I've ever coached in. We were very fortunate to go 5-0. But if you look at all of our scores, we could have easily went 0-5 or 3-2 or 2-3. It's a testament to our kids and their ability to pull out some close games. But competitive wise, it's a great league. I think if you ask any of the coaches in our league, everybody enjoys it because every week you got to bring your A game. You got a game plan. Every team's got players. Everybody's got some really skillful kids, and it's a well-coached league. Every team in our league is well-coached. They're disciplined. They play hard. So it is a grind of a league, but I think it gets everybody prepared for the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right, Coach, let's end it like this. Speaking of playoffs, again, you guys are going to see Hemet on the road Friday night, Bulldogs and Eagles, part 2. Yep. What do you think are the keys to victory on Friday night to advance to the quarterfinals?
I think the keys to victory, if you go back to our first game, turnovers hurt both teams. So it's going to be whoever can eliminate turnovers and whoever can execute. At the end of the day, it's high school football. It's 15 to 18-year-old kids. And, week to week, people are going to make plays. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. Which I think the teams are really evenly matched. So just whatever team can execute and kids can make plays.
All right, Coach. Sorry, I got one more follow-up because I forgot to ask you about Lola Carson. Kicking the game-winning field goal. What's her story? A soccer player? What's her background?
Right. So she is a soccer player. I have a daughter who's a senior and plays soccer, and so I would go to a lot of the girls' soccer games last year. And Lola Carson was a sophomore goalie last year, and she would do goalie kicks and kick it out. I think that's what you call it in soccer. But she'd kick it out from the goal, and it'd go clear past midfield easily. And I'm like, geez, we got to get this girl on the football field because we are a small school, so we got to kind of get kids where we can get them and fit them in. And so I asked her if she'd be interested in kicking. She's a tough kid, and so she's like, absolutely. So it actually started last spring after girls' soccer season. I got her out on the field with some of the football kids. She started kicking and really just bought into it, and she's actually really good at it. And so being her first year, we were kind of taking it slow, and we told her, hey, sometime this year we're going to count on you to win a game. And she's just a very positive kid, and she was like, I got it, Coach. And so we ran her out there, and we kind of played for the field goal at the end of the game. We ran her out there, and she wasn't nervous at all and kicked it right down the middle. And so that's what I was talking about. I'm extremely happy for kids when they buy in and they put the work in and then it works out for them. It's really fun to see.
Coach, how far was that field goal?
30 yards, right at 30 yards. Yeah,
nice.
We placed it right at the 20-yard line. And we knew that was that's right in her range. So it got on the left hash for her, and she knocked it through.
And Coach, I don't have your season stats in front of me, but how many field goals did you guys kick all season long? Was she out there quite a bit?
No, she wasn't. I think that was maybe her third field goal of the year.
Okay.
That was her farthest kick of the year. She's been good on extra points though, so we were confident in sending her out on the field.
That's awesome. What a great story with the league title on the line.
Right,
Huge win for Rancho Christian, 31-28. We get the sequel with Hemet and Rancho Christian coming up in the Division 8 opening round. Coach Lowe, thank you so much for the time. I'm glad we finally got a chance to do this. Congrats on the league championship.
No, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate what you guys do.
You got it. That is Coach Lowe from Rancho Christian here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
Really enjoyed that interview with Coach Lowe at Rancho Christian, and man, part 2, Hemet versus the Eagles. Can't wait. Can't believe it's a first-round game, and ironically, in back-to-back weeks at the same stadium at Hemet High School, and they got to do it all over again. And that first game came down to a field goal, and I think he said during the interview what they were down like 28-7, I want to say, and they came back, and then the field goal to win it. So just a dramatic game any way you slice it for Rancho Christian to win that one. So that's going to be an epic first-round game in Division 8. A little bit later in the show, more high school football. We've got our latest Boost Top 25 poll. We're going to break down some of the top games in the first round. We're also going to hear from head coach Ben Benitez at Moreno Valley after the Vikings beat Canyon Springs for the Inland Valley League title. And that was also a rivalry game, the Butterfield rivalry game between the Cougars and the Vikings, as Coach Benitez bringing a league title back to Moval. And so that's a little bit later in the show. But when we come back after this very short commercial break, we're going to hear from Kendall Coleman from CBU men's basketball, the Lancers, with a big win against the University of the Incarnate Word on ESPN+. Myself and Jeff were on the call. Highlights and the interview with Kendall, and also a little San Bernardino Valley College cross country. The Wolverines cross country dynasty continues as they collected another conference championship. So we got that and more coming up here on the Inland Sports Show, and we will be right back right after this. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Here are 3 tips for improved sleep for student athletes. Number 1, try not to perform any activities in your bedroom besides sleeping. This associates your bedroom with sleep. Number 2, only go to your bed when you're really sleepy and after a routine. This way, when you see your bed, you'll think of sleep. Number 3, if you can't sleep, get out of your bed or bedroom. This way, you can prevent your bed or bedroom from becoming a wakeful trigger. Sleep plays an important role in your development as a student and athlete. So if you want to play at your best, get some rest. Boostman.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. My name is Pep Fernandez. If you're watching us live and amplified on Wednesday night, give us a like and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. We're almost to 4,000 subscribers. I'd love to hit it before football season ends. And if you're not watching us live, if you're watching us on demand after the fact, that's great too. Also give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us in getting the word out. You guys get notified if you want. If you hit that little notification bell every time we post not only the Inland Sports Show, but sometimes we post the individual interviews or highlights that we have. So it's a great reason to subscribe, and it's absolutely free thanks to our great sponsors. We mentioned Ken's, Boost, Sanitation Solutions, Pulse and Orthodontics, and of course, one of our big-time favorites, Chick-fil-A and Ukaipa. And again, I'm getting hungry. If you're watching us live on Wednesday night, I'm getting hungry right about now, so Chick-fil-A sounds amazing. All right, very quick segment here as we hit the college sports scene, and California Baptist University tipping off the season. In fact, it was opening night for college basketball across the country on Monday night. CBU was at home against the University of the Incarnate Word from Texas, a Division I program, and the Lancers fell behind early in this game. They were down by 17 in the first half, but they kept chipping away at that Cards lead and eventually won this game by a final score of 83-78. Myself and the Big GZ, Jeff Gorham, on the call on ESPN+. You can find us there all season long for CBU men's basketball home games, so check us out on ESPN. It was an awesome atmosphere for opening night, man. If you have not been out there, you got to get out there. It is a must-see TV out there if you can't make it and watch it on ESPN. Must see in person out there at the Fowler Events Center. It was rocking on opening night. It was fantastic. It was great. And best of all, they got a big win in the home opener, season opener as well. Check out some highlights from ESPN+. And here comes Johnson back the other way. It's good, and the Lancers take the lead, 52-51.
Well, whatever Coach Croy is saying in the huddle is working. Lancers are up by 2 right now as we approach the midway point.
Nice move, baseline. Coleman, 2 hands.
The drive and the kick into the corner to Haben. His three-point tip, no good. Rebound, Brown. Riley, Silverstein on the run, throws it down. Sam Silverstein with a big-time dunk. The Lancers up by 4 with 1 minute to go. Daniels, a little stutter step to the rim. Yes! Dominic Daniels Jr. It was a comeback for the ages, led by our guy, Dom Daniels Jr., the former San Bernardino Valley College star, making his return to the Lancers. He was averaging 19 points per game last season. Then he had a knee injury. It cut his season short, but now he's back. He's better than ever. He had a monster game helping the Lancers down the stretch, as did Kendall Coleman, the Shreveport, Louisiana native, had his family in attendance for the season opener, and he balled out. He was a big reason why the Lancers found a way to win in this game on the offensive end and also on the defensive end. After the game, we had a chance to talk to Kendall about how big and important this game was to win on opening night, and it sets him up for another great game coming up on Saturday against Kennesaw State from Georgia. Here is the Lancers' Kendall Coleman.
Inland Sports.
Opening night, big win for you guys. What do you think was the difference in this game tonight for you guys?
They came out hot. We didn't expect them to come out as hot as they did, but just making sure we stay composed, those different kind of things, and staying together as a team, and things like that kind of get you a dub when it's a tough game like that, because we scrapped all game.
And now you got Kennesaw State coming on Saturday. What are some of the positives that you guys can build off now going into the second game of the year?
We have momentum right now, but in basketball, don't let your highs get too high, don't let your lows get too low. Take the day off tomorrow, get ready for Kennesaw State to come in here. We go watch some film on and prepare just like we did for this game.
Inland Sports.
All right, good stuff from Kendall Coleman. We'll see if the Lancers can keep it rolling on Saturday against Kennesaw State. That's a 5 p.m. tip-off on ESPN+. Myself and the Big GZ, Jeff Gorham, will be on the call as usual. The Lancers with 6 consecutive home games in the month of November to open up the season, man. It'd be awesome to see them go 6-0, but they got some tough ones in there. And Kennesaw State, the Owls, coming to town to Riverside to CBU on Saturday. All right. More college sports as we go to San Bernardino Valley College. And when you talk about dynasties, you've got to talk about SBVC men's cross country. Now under the reign of Jim Radigan, the head coach for the Wolverines. We had highlights on IEMG Sports Weekly this past week, and the Wolverines went out and won their 27th cross-country conference title in the last 29 years. That is dominance. That is a dynasty, and Coach Radigan has a great squad this year. In fact, Kevin Nava was your overall men's winner as they go to the SoCal Finals this Friday. And on the women's side, Sarah Jaquez also won for SBVC to lead the women's team to a conference championship. So the men and women both winning conference titles, and Sarah Jaquez and Kevin Nava, your individual winners. Here is Kevin Nava just talking about finishing on top, and now he's got big goals as the Wolverines head into the SoCal Finals on Friday.
Kevin, going into the season, was that the goal for yourself? Was it win the individual conference title? Was it, win a team championship? What kind of goals did you have, for yourself and the team, going through the season?
Well, at first, it was just to see what I can do. Like, compared to last year, too. I did really well coming back, but this year I didn't really have any specific goals. Just see how well I can run. Just have fun with it. But that was my main goal. But since I started winning, I'm like, oh, what? I didn't think I could do it. But thanks to my teammates and Coach Radigan, I'm able to actually be up there. And now my goal is to lead the team to place higher.
Well, best of luck to Kevin Nava and the Wolverines at the SoCal Finals at Chaffey College on Friday. You can look for the complete interview with Kevin and Sarah Jaquez on this week's Sports Weekly on IEMG, so look out for that. All right, we're going to take another quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, more high school football. I know you guys want it. More high school football. When we come back, we're going to break down some of the big matchups in the first round of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We have the Boost Top 25 poll with the regular season complete, and we're going to break down that Valley View versus Moreno Valley game and hear from Coach Benitez from the Vikings. That is next here on the Inland Sports Show. We'll be right back.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
Parents, is it time for you to find another organization or club for your athlete? Now, before you switch it up, ask yourself these questions. Is your child missing practices? Do they have a bad attitude that's evident through body language? Are they running to you instead of talking to their coach? Are they stubborn about playing different positions? Do you sometimes question your child's effort during practice or competition? Are you, the parent, constantly harassing the coach? Now, if you answered no to all these questions, then maybe your boy, Boostman.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Inland Sports.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the offensive, the best offensive team in Kansas City against the best defensive team in the Chargers. And what's ironic, I think people maybe forget this, that, Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback, right? Like, he was a quarterback and he scored a lot of points at Michigan. And of course, his NFL career with the Bears and the Colts. And with Justin Herbert, obviously in his prime right now, you thought, okay, well, the Chargers are going to bring in an offensive mind, right? To really help Justin Herbert along or make him the best that he can absolutely be. And he's still really, really good, but it's just ironic. They brought in a former quarterback, and now they're going to the run game and the defense just pound the life out of the opponent.
It just seems like he understands that, a good run game and a great defense can really help a quarterback out. And then when you need him to make throws in the playoffs, when you can run the ball and your defense is tough, then it's like he can open it up.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing here, man. And it is maybe just the Michigan in him. Run the ball, good defense, be efficient. You'd think he'd want to sling it all over the place like you're saying, but I think he kind of sees, you help out the defense with that running game, and it's working, man.
Well, all the football nerds out there, including myself, would be, well, actually, it's all cyclical, right? You got to be able to run the football if you want to throw the football and vice versa. The big one was actually the Lions and the Packers, and the Lions going outdoors to nasty Lambeau Field and beating the Packers 24-14. And I love what Dan Campbell said, that the Lions are just built to win. Indoors, outdoors, good weather, bad weather, he doesn't care. They're just built to win.
Right. That was kind of the talk, and you heard Jared Goff talk. We're supposed to be the dome team. We're not supposed to be able to handle the elements, but they are just tough, just like their head coach.
Yeah, and as a 49er fan, you're a Seahawk fan. I know a lot of Ram fans are listening. Dude, Detroit looks like the team to beat in the NFC. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Detroit.
Inland Sports.
Hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCal 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday. Check it out, man. If you love local sports, Patrick is a big sports fan too, and you like rock music, man, it is a match made in heaven. So every Monday, Thursday, KCal 96.7 FM. All right, it's time for the Boost Top 25 poll now that the regular season is complete. And it's when you do the rankings this time of the year, you have to consider how the teams are playing right now, but also you can't forget about the whole body of work, the overall record. What did they do early on in the season? I know August 23rd or whatever that week 0 was, or if Beaumont and Redlands, they had week 00. I mean, that was a long time ago, but you can't forget what they did then, but put a lot of emphasis on what they're doing right now. And you got to reward what they're doing, especially if they're doing things right now in head-to-head matchups. So when they're playing other teams that are also ranked in the top 25, that carries a lot of weight. So with that said, the Boost Top 25 poll will make a lot more sense when you see it right now. All right. Oh, it didn't take it, did it? Let me try this again. Sometimes my software does not like me. Let's try it again. Boom! There it is. Boost Top 25 poll. Centennial still on top. No one's going to argue with that. Murrieta Valley, your second place team in the Big West Upper. Chaparral, your Big West third place team. 1, 2, 3. Beaumont, your CBL champion at number 4. Vista Murrieta checks in at number 5. San Jacinto's at 6. Cajon 7. Aquinas 8. Orange Vista, your Ivy League champion at 9. And Norco, despite the 3-7 record, they played a lot of teams tough. And they did not make the playoffs, so Norco cannot get any higher. They might fall a little bit, but they cannot get any higher now that they did not make the playoffs. So that's how it looks. And again, you have to take into consideration some head-to-head matchups. San Jacinto beat Cajon head-to-head. Vista Murrieta beat Orange Vista head-to-head. So you got to take those into consideration. But how teams are playing right now, like Ramona, 10-0 for the first time in school history, going undefeated through the regular season. The Rams check in at number 11. They have steadily been climbing the top 25 poll all season long. The Rancho Verde losing by 1 to Orange Vista for the Ivy League title. They actually move up a little bit because they battled Orange Vista. Orange Vista is your back-to-back Ivy League champion, but the Mustangs took them to the brink, and they check in at number 12. Rancho Christian beat Hemet in a wild, dramatic game that ended with a field goal in the final seconds, in the final 30 seconds. So Rancho Christian ahead of Hemet now, but not by much. We've got them 13 and 14 respectively. Big West Lower champ Murrieta Mesa moves up to 15. Sunkist League champion Summit at 16, followed by Vista Del Lago, Citrus Valley, your third place team in the CBL, VDL, your third place team in the Ivy. Norta Vista, runner-up in the River Valley League, followed by King, Yucaipa, Great Oak, Hillcrest, Valley View, and West Valley. Now, we have Hillcrest in at number 23, but Hillcrest did not make the playoffs, even though they beat Valley View head-to-head in the final week of the regular season. That game was live on Riverside TV, but it was not enough to get Hillcrest in to the postseason. So we still have Hillcrest in the top 25. They played some really close games, and I know they got hit really hard by injuries late in the season. We got them at number 23, so I'll leave it at that. It was a great year for Hillcrest, but they did not get into the playoffs. So that is the Boost Top 25 now that the regular season is complete. So let's take a look at some of the big matchups coming up in the first round of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. Not all the games, but some of the big games in the Inland Sports Show coverage area. So let's start with, well, a rematch from last year's playoffs and also the first game of the year. Rancho Cucamonga and Murrieta Valley. The Nighthawks have star quarterback Bear Bachmeyer back. He is back in the fold, back from an injury, and he had a big game last week, and it should be good. I mean, it was a double overtime thriller last year in the playoffs. The Nighthawks won pretty handily in week 0 this year. So we'll see what happens this time around. First round matchup in Division 2. That's a lot of fun. We also have Beaumont on the road at San Juan Hills. I saw Coach Fabell is awesome, man, on social media. He put something out there that said, I think when he first got to the program in 2017-ish with Coach Steinberg, they were Division 11. Now they are Division 2. And the CBL champion going on the road to San Juan Hills in D2. Orange Vista, the reigning Division 5 champion from a year ago, your Ivy League champion, now in Division 4. And the Coyotes going on the road to St. Bonnie. St. Bonaventure up in Ventura. Ramona, your Division 11 champion last year, now in Division 7. They will open up the playoffs at home against Rio Hondo Prep. In Division 8, we've got Vista Del Lago. King versus Vista Del Lago is also Division 7. So I think if Ramona, if I remember the brackets correctly, I don't have them open in front of me, but if Ramona wins, they will play the winner of King and Vista Del Lago in the next round. That would be an epic battle. We also have Moreno Valley versus Valley View. That could be a great game as well. A couple Moval rivals going head-to-head in that one. That is Division 10. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. And we also have Banning against Canyon Springs. I just want to give a quick shout-out to Jake Niesel, the head football coach for the Banning Broncos. 9-1 through the regular season. Sun Valley League champions. You'll remember, he was the former head coach at Arroyo Valley, was also the baseball coach too. Went to Banning and turned things around in a hurry, including a league title. So they will take on Canyon Springs in the first round in Division 12. But going back to Division 10, Moreno Valley taking on Valley View. A rivalry game of sorts, both being from the city of Moreno Valley. And it was Moval winning the Inland Valley League Championship 41-28 against Canyon Springs this past week in week number 10, the final week of the regular season. It's been a great year for the Vikings and head coach Ben Benitez. He's a Moval guy, so he takes a lot of pride coming back to Moreno Valley and bringing a winner. There's the Vikings celebrating the Butterfield rivalry, celebrating with the Butterfield rivalry trophy and that Inland Valley League championship. Now they go to the playoffs, and they don't have to travel very far. It's an in-town game as they go on the road to Valley View in the first round in Division 10. Our guy Elijah Green caught up with Coach Benitez after that big win against Canyon Springs in the rivalry game and for the outright league title.
Well, to be honest, I feel amazing as a former Viking myself, as a coaching for my alma mater. This means so much more to me than just this one game or just a league championship. So to come back as a head coach and win a league title, I want to trade it for the world, man. It's been amazing. I hope, I told our kids we had a rough start, right? We were 1-2. I told them, I said, you know what? If we buy in, we're going to go and we're going to win 7 in a row. We're going to be league champs. And they believe and we achieved. So I can be proud of our guys.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations again.
Well, big shout out to our guy Elijah Green as well, man. He has been getting it done all season long on our football coverage. Thank you, Elijah. He will be out at that Moreno Valley versus Valley View game, covering it for the Friday Night Pep Rally and also here on the Inland Sports Show. So check it out, and congrats to Coach Benitez. In fact, he sent me a picture of him and his young son watching the Friday Night Pep Rally late at night. He says he always tunes in, gets his highlights and scores. So, Coach, thank you very much. And you're going to have highlights of your game against Valley View coming up Friday night on the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. So as long as we've got local teams still in the playoff hunt, we will continue the Friday Night Pep Rally. Again, that is on Riverside TV. That is the city of Riverside, so you can check it out. If you don't have the TV channel, that's okay. Watch it on YouTube, watch it on Facebook. It's also on Twitter as well, or X, if you want to call it that. So that's the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. Now, on IEMG this week on Sports Weekly, we've got girls flag football highlights. Cajon taking on Sure High School, and this sure was a great game. Cajon went up by a score of 14-0. They led by 2 touchdowns at halftime. In the second half, Sure came back and tied it up at 14 to force overtime. And then in OT, they would get the game-winning touchdown to win 20-14. This was the Division 4 quarterfinal. So we'll have all the highlights on Sports Weekly on IEMG from this one, plus a post-game interview with Jeff Imbriani, the head coach of the Cajon girls flag football team. There he is right there, the former head coach at San Bernardino High School when Alexander Madison was running around Cardinal City. And speaking of Alex, I think next week we'll have the I Am Gifted Athletes of the Week for the month of October. So look for that as well. Again, a big thanks to our awesome sponsors. They are the best. They love local sports, and they support the Inland Sports Show, helping us share all these positive stories out there across the Inland Empire. Boost Performance Training, Ken Sporting Goods, Paulson Orthodontics, Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, and our newest team member, Sanitation Solutions. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are the best. We really appreciate it. You love local sports just like us. And if you'd like to join our team, we can promote you right here on the show. Just hit us up, inlandsportshow@gmail.com, or find us on any of our social media platforms and hit those DMs, man. We'll hit you right back. We appreciate it. All right, big thanks to our guests tonight, including William Lowe, the head football coach for the Rancho Christian Eagles. Big game against Hemet, part 2. First round of the playoffs, man. It's going to be an awesome one coming up on Friday. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.